Poland's location at the center of the European continent resulted in frequent periods of conflict and changing boundaries throughout the country's history. Over the course of the last millennium, Poland endured myriad changes in territory and governance before arriving at its present borders. At the time of the first king, Boleslaw I, crowned 1024, the Polish state stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Carpathian Mountains. 300 years later, during the reign of Casimir the Great, Poland expanded its borders by roughly one-third of its former size. In 1386, Poland united with Lithuania under the Jagiellonian dynasty to become the dominant power in East-Central Europe. The dynasty extended its control to Hungary in 1440 and then to western and eastern Prussia as the result of the 13 Years' War. The land of the Jagiellonian dynasty eventually stretched to the Black Sea and reached its greatest extent in the 17th century. By 1768, factional differences in Poland had led to civil war. The countries surrounding Poland, Prussia, Austria, and Russia, took advantage of this instability and claimed portions of Polish territory as their own in 1772. Poland lost almost one-third of its territory in this first partition, with lands in the west going to Prussia, lands in the southwest going to Austria, and lands in the east going to Russia. Over the next 20 years, Poland experienced a remarkable recovery, with sweeping changes in its economy and educational system. A new liberal constitution was adopted in 1791. However, it prompted a conservative rebellion that created an opening for foreign intervention. In 1792, troops from Russia entered Poland. Prince Józef Poniatowski and General Tadeusz Kosciuszko led Polish nationalists in a fight against this invasion, but they could not prevent another partition. The second partition of Poland in 1793 ceded further land in the west to Prussia and in the east to Russia. In 1794, General Kosciuszko led a nationalist uprising against the partitioning powers that found initial success but was ultimately defeated. As a result of the insurrection's failure, the third partition of Poland divided the remainder of Polish lands among Prussia, Austria, and Russia, effectively erasing Poland from the map. Poland existed as a partitioned land for the next 123 years. As Napoleon Bonaparte began to exert power across Europe, Polish General Jan Heinrich Dąbrowski persuaded the French general to create auxiliary Polish legions. Polish forces played a significant role in Napoleon's victories in the Prussian part of Poland. In 1807, Napoleon rewarded the Poles by using conquered lands to establish a small state called the Duchy of Warsaw, which was so named so as not to offend the partitioning powers. Victory in war against Austria 2 years later doubled the duchy's size and reintegrated the cities of Krakow and Poznan. Napoleon's invasion of Russia in 1812 offered the hope of a resurrected Polish state, but instead his retreat brought the victorious Russian troops in to occupy the Duchy of Warsaw. Following the end of the Napoleonic Wars, Austria, Prussia, Russia, and Great Britain convened at the Congress of Vienna to plan the reorganization of Europe. For Poland, this meant that Krakow became a free city, and Poznania, the northeastern portion of the duchy's territory, returned to Prussian occupation. The assembly granted the remainder of the Duchy of Warsaw to Russia under the name Congress Kingdom of Poland. Over the next century, Polish nationalists staged several insurrections, namely the November insurrection of 1830 and the January insurrection of 1864, but they could not overthrow their occupiers and regain control of their land. The Polish question was revisited during World War I. Forces on either side of the conflict declared new independent Polish states, and Point 13 of United States President Woodrow Wilson's 14 points called for an independent Poland with secure access to the sea. The country's status was still at issue during the Brest-Litovsk Conference, which negotiated Russia's exit from the war. Following Germany's surrender, Józef Pilsudski negotiated the withdrawal of German troops from Polish territory and became the head of a resurrected Polish state that encompassed Congress Poland and Western Galicia. The borders, drawn under the Treaty of Versailles in June 1919, roughly corresponded with the Polish-German frontiers before the partitions. Poland regained Poznania as well as portions of Prussia and Upper Silesia. Gdansk, which was Polish land before the Second Partition, became a free city. The Polish Free State lasted for 20 years, until September 1, 1939, when Nazi Germany launched a blitzkrieg invasion against Poland from the west. 2 weeks later, on September 17th, Soviet Russia entered from the east. By the end of the month, Poland was once again a partitioned land, divided between Germany and Soviet Russia. At the end of World War II, Poland regained independence. Allied leaders at the Potsdam Conference also gave the country part of the former East Prussia, creating the boundaries of modern-day Poland.